to the women's free skate in Vancouver, the final event of the 2008 BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championship. Joannie Rochette searching for her 4th national title. Canada has quite a history in singles skating, and standing by with an accomplished guest is Brenda Irving.
Scott, I'm with a 3-time Canadian champion, José Chouinard. And José, what made the Canadian Championship so special for you?
Well, first of all, I think for every competitors, it is the competition that qualifies you for the World Championship. For me, I think was the crowd. I think for me was having the people that supported me through my career, my skating club, the federation, everybody that was there before as I was growing up. So, I mean, it's a combination of everything. It's the final of the, of being in Canada, who will get you out of Canada and compete against the best in the world. So it is very important for everyone that competes at nationals.
And for those of you, Scott, that don't know, José now the head coach of the competitive skating program at the Granite Club in Toronto. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
At the Granite Club in Toronto. Thanks.
The Granite Club in Toronto has quite a reputation. Home club of the new national champion, Patrick Chan. Mira Leung is charged and ready to skate. The women take the ice next in Vancouver. We're back at Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, and the women are getting ready to go with Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning. And getting ready to go, Tracy, in a pretty special venue.
Well, the atmosphere in here is terrific. It's the Olympic arena. It's already, the lighting has been fine-tuned for Olympic competition. You can just feel the magic, a full house here, and a very, very appreciative audience. So if this doesn't get the ladies going, I don't know what does.
And Kurt, one of the competitors in the women's free skate, has high aspirations for the Olympics. And she's advanced in terms of her years.
And I know exactly who you're talking about, Leslie Hawker. And I think for me, Leslie could be the most emotional moment of the night, and we're all looking forward to that. Nobody would make this crowd stand up more if she does great.
All right, Leslie Hawker takes to the ice here at Pacific Coliseum.
Representing Central Ontario.
It is a time of evaluation for Leslie Hawker, the 26-year-old born in Toronto. She has been on the podium before at the National Figure Skating Championships, but after the short program, she's got some ground to make up. She stood 7th, and you have to know that Leslie Hawker has high aspirations of getting to the World Championships and maybe to the Olympics.
Her music is I'll Be Seeing You and then Hymn to the Fallen. And this is great music for Leslie because it's nice and calming and relaxed. She has a lot of energy and a lot of spring, and sometimes she just gets too much height in her jumps and can't control them. So she's got to settle into the music here as she opens with her triple lutz in combination.
Oh, it's so nice to start your program by finding your knees on that first jump.
Key jump coming up for Leslie is a triple flip. This is what she missed in the short program. And she does it in combination with a double toe and a double loop.
Interesting interplay with her coach, Richard Callahan. I saw them under the stands prior to this skate, and he was just very calmly nodding his head as she danced through the hallway. It's really, it was an interesting sort of combination that was developing.
It is possible for Leslie to climb to the podium from 7th. This Lutz will make it possible. Very nice.
sign of weakness technically in the program, doubling that flip.
She is an inspiration to so many young skaters because of how she has approached her career very late in life. She hit the national team when she was 23. Anything is possible, and she's really turned it into a fabulous career for herself. Final triple planned, triple Salchow, hang on, just.
Right attitude, she's taken her attributes and made them shine. Her ability to enjoy the skating, invite the audience into her performance. There's certain things like extensions and maybe, you know, speed across the ice that could be, you know, better. But you forget that because she's a better performer than a lot of the other girls who have more talent naturally.
Series of double axles. And Kurt, we've talked about it all week here at Canadians. When it's personal and when it comes from the heart, you really feel it, and the performance takes on a life of its own.
Leslie Hawker, representing...
Two-time Canadian bronze medalist Leslie Hawker trying to climb back to the podium in Vancouver. We'll return to the women's free skate from Pacific Coliseum in just a moment.
Leslie Hawker with a wonderful free skate here at the Canadians. What did it mean to you to mentally rebound after that short program?
Well, it just always means a lot to skate in front of these Canadian crowds because they've just been so great to me since I started skating, and they're just always there for me forever, so it always means a lot to me.
What did it mean to you to just be able to dig deep and find the guts to pull off a performance like that?
You know, every time you do something, when you have to come back, it's always harder after you skate bad. So it's just something that, you know, for some reason I can do, and have a great coach who helps me.
Well, you can feel the fans were behind you here today in Vancouver. Congratulations.
Thanks, Brenda.
Scott.
Thank you very much, Brenda and Leslie. She waits now for the marks with Richard Callahan, her coach, who she referred to in that interview. Technical elements for Leslie, 56.43, 50.98 for the presentation. There are no deductions. 107.41 for Leslie Hawker, and that's a personal best for Leslie.
And we'll have to keep our eyes on that score because it could be easily enough to pop her on to the podium.
Dreams of a national title, hopes of a place on the world stage. It's a fine line now and a free skate for these women. Lights up, clean sheet, young stars to write a new story. High hopes of international acclaim in an exacting sport. Great expectations for a hometown hero who aims to deliver on the day. Proud tradition, an accomplished champion trying to embellish her record of rising to the occasion. Well, the last of the warm-ups here at Pacific Coliseum for the final flight of women in the free skate after the short program. Joannie Rochette has the lead doing her final spins here. Mira Leung, the hometown skater from Vancouver, is currently in second place. Let's get a quick word now from Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning. First of all, Joannie Rochette's lead is precarious. Tracy?
Yes, but this is her strength, the free program. Mira is going to make her focus to win the competition.
Kurt, pressure of a hometown crowd for Mira.
No, not that kind of skater. No, she's going to work it and make Joannie work for the title for sure.
It's an evolving story. A quick word now from Brenda Irving. Brenda?
Well, Scott, maybe a surprise to some people is who is sitting in third place right now. It's Marianne Samson of Quebec, and she wasn't skating well earlier this season. And in a highly unusual move, her coach, Mira Leung, decided to seek the help of a veteran team. She approached the highly respected coach, Manon Perron, the coach of Joannie Rochette, and said, can we work alongside of you? And unselfishly, she said, yes, you can. And it's resulted definitely in improvement in her skating and what we've been seeing here at the Nationals. Scott?
Thank you very much, Brenda. And Kristin Walker is now on the ice, the first of the skaters in this final flight. 21 years old, trains at the Crowchild Figure Skating Club in Calgary.
Kristin is in the final flight because she did a flawless short program. She does not have the technical difficulty of the top skaters, but what she does, she usually does very well. And a nice series there to start her program. She's limited in her triple jumps, and there's 2 triples that she can complete successfully. Her triple sal and her triple toe. Here's the sal cow.
Oh, resisting the urge to put her hand down. The new system that would have deducted more points. That means she's using her head. She's on the top of her game, even though she made a mistake. Turning a double axel into a single. Very uncharacteristic for her this week, as she's been, like as you said, Tracy, very consistent in the few triples she does have, and then missing a double.
Combination there, good for her. See if she can get the double axel in Kurt, and nope, singles it again. It's not feeling right on the takeoff. She is coached by Pamela McCracken and has been coached by her since she was 5 years old for 16 years.
That's a good story, I like that. Kristin has put herself into the last flight at the Canadian Championships by consistently performing, and when, you know, Leslie Hawker made a mistake in the short program, it's a skater like Kristin who can skate a less technical program but slide it in clean and end up at last flight. And maybe the pressure of the last flight's getting to her a little bit.
First time in the last flight at Canadians, and as you say, Kurt, that's quite an honor, and she'll walk away from here as that having that as an accomplishment.
Sometimes the road up is a difficult one. She was 9th at the last 2 national championships.
She fell off the pace that she set in the first minute and a half of the program, but a little shrug of the shoulders. I think she should be happy. You know, if you'd have told her she was going to be in the last flight a week ago, she probably would have said, "I'll take it."
21-year-old Calgarian Kristin Walker. The women's free skate from the 2008 BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships will continue with Erica Tishluck when we return to Pacific Coliseum. Welcome back to the Coliseum. Scott Russell with Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning and Kristin Walker of Calgary awaiting her marks. And to her left, to our right, is her longtime coach, Pamela McCracken. They train at the Crowchild Club in Calgary. Here's another look at Kristin's routine.
Beautiful triple toe, a lot of air at the beginning of that jump, and she carried the momentum through to a nice smile at the end of the double toe, double loop. I like those.
She was quite successful on her triple jumps there. Triple Salchow, double toe was the double axel that got away, but 4 triple jumps in this program for Kristin.
It's interesting how a thought gets in your head and you try to push a negative thought out and you end up working even harder at bringing it back, and it sort of sabotaged another double axel later on in the program.
Kristin awaiting her marks. We can tell you, as you saw earlier, that Leslie Hawker has moved up. She was 7th after the short program, has moved up. Kristin's technical elements 38.29. Her presentation 41.39. And her free skate is a 39.69.68 for Kristin Walker.
And that's a personal best. So mission accomplished here for Kristin Walker.
Now in 5th position. She's a 3rd-year university student in Calgary and trains 3 hours a day.
Well, that always impresses me, especially me, for a skater to get to this level and still go to university.
Wow. Hush falls over Pacific Coliseum. It is a big crowd in attendance for the women's free skate. And this is Erica Tishluck, a 16-year-old from Candiac, Quebec, who trains in La Prairie with her mom, José Normand.
And this is all about experience. First time in the final flight for Erica, and as you said, she's only 16 years of age. She's kind of the opposite of Leslie Hawker. She had all her triple jumps when she was 12 years old. At that point, she was 4'9". She's now 5'6", and still will attempt all of the triple jumps in this program.
A lot of skaters will have a simple jump to start the program, get the knees bending, get the mind sharpened and focused, simple double axel. And that's a little bit of a wake-up call. Dropping the right arm, scratching, using that toe pick to hold yourself up. So now she has to decide, did that snap me to attention, or did I just get an adrenaline pump I didn't need? Triple flip, triple double toe. I think we just got our answer.
So this is where inexperience comes into play. It's very difficult mentally to get back in the game when you're feeling slightly off and haven't got your rhythm. Ah, that was so close.
It was so close, and no, well, from the booth, no real reason to fall down. I mean, it's so easy from up here to give an opinion, but you can see the right arm making the same mistake it did on the double axel landing in the beginning of the program, starting to sink down. Triplets turn to a double. And we can get carried away with the mistakes and forget. Beautiful skater, gorgeous spin. But this is the Canadian Championships.
And she does have Canadian Championship pedigree. In 2005, she was the novice champion of a country that loves this sport. So she's proven herself at a younger age, now trying to rediscover herself in senior skating.
Scott, I have to say, when you go out in a Canadian Championships and you're out on the ice all by yourself with all these people watching. It's so difficult if you don't feel on, and you fight and you struggle and you get kind of more away from where you want to go.
You super analyze everything, every step. And then, you know, the things that are natural to you get farther and farther away from you. Someone like Patrick Chan was able to channel everything, and he said, it was over before I knew it. But when you're having a bad skate, it just seems to take forever. Not having the best skate, but I have to tell you a short story. I was actually getting a hamburger here at the building, and the two guys ahead of me were talking about how pretty she was.
Every skater has to go through moments like this when you lose your legs and you can't find them in competition. Unfortunately for Erica, what makes that more difficult, that lesson more difficult, is that it's at a national championship in the final flight. Final triple coming up, and she turned it to a double.
Wise choice at this point.
Wise choice, I agree.
Well, it was a mighty struggle for Erica Tishluck, the 16-year-old, but she is at the other end at Pacific Coliseum. Her marks are coming up, and on her way, a former champion, Cynthia Phaneuf, when we return to Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver. We're back inside Pacific Coliseum. There is Erica Tishluck. And alongside is her mom, José Normand, who is also her coach. And what must that be like after a first performance in the final flight at the National Championships and things didn't go according to plan?
Well, you know what? Actually, 2 days ago, I had a conversation with her almost about this. And she said that I bounce back and forth between being a coach and being a mom. And she said as soon as she leaves the boards and goes out on the ice, because I become a mom. You know, and watching it not go fantastic for your own child, I'm sure she was all mom today. But eventually they're going to start talking about what went wrong and regroup, and this is an opportunity for a learning experience. She'll never let this happen to her again.
Here are the results for Erica Tishluck, only 16 years of age, 32-34 technical, presentation 39-47, lots of deductions, 68-81 is the free skate score. Combine that with her short program, and it will leave her with a total of 117.87 and down in 8th position.
Her total competition score is 117.87.
Long day, long skate, but experience gained for Erica Tishluck.
And having the skater skate like that before you actually isn't necessarily a great thing for you, because the momentum of the building changes, and if you're aware of it, it's just this, it can be a negative factor.
On the ice,
here is Cynthia Phaneuf, who needs all positive on her way to center ice. Here is a young woman who has been a Canadian champion at the age of 15. She won in Edmonton in 2004. She has been at the very top of her game and now is trying to get it back.
I did some shows with her when she was doing exactly that, and it was so strange to see Cynthia on the ice struggling with even a double axel, and so rewarding to see her this week popping off triples and looking so fit and so ready.
In competition this season, Cynthia landed 2 triples in the Free at Skate Canada, 3 at the Challenge, the lead into Canadians. Skating to Claire de Lune, choreographed by David Wilson.
Love this song.
Opening with a triple toe, double axel.
And actually, just perfect. Perfect execution, perfect landings, flow.
Well, look at her deep knee bend on the landing of that triple Lutz so she could save the jump, showing determination.
She was 4th at the Nationals last year. That's where she stands coming into the free skate after the short program. Cynthia Phaneuf so far has everything on board.
That's amazing, a triple flip after already doing the Lutz and the loop. Personal best this season, personal best since her comeback.
Unnecessary to put the hand down on that beautiful triple sow.
She's got to get her focus back. Brain starts thinking about how well you're doing. Stay in the moment.
That was a beautiful moment on the footwork, utilizing the music. Wonderful.
I love her determination in this program. She's been off in the air on a lot of the jumps, but she is determined to land those jumps. Choreography by David Wilson. Spectacular and just perfect for Cynthia.
Cynthia Phaneuf, representing Quebec.
It's inspiring to see resolve, a goal, and Cynthia Phaneuf may have captured a moment here on the Pacific Coast. She now awaits her results. Waiting in the wings, Marianne Samson, the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships will continue in just. There is Cynthia Phaneuf, the former Canadian champion, awaiting her results now. Big smile on her face.
There should be, actually. And hey, kids at home, this is a lesson on how to save a jump. Something goes wrong in the air, she doesn't feel right, and she uses that knee, the ankle wobble. She used the knee bend to buy herself more time. Way to go.
Until just a month ago, she had only landed 2 triples in competition. the triple sow and the triple toe here.
In the last few
Lutz
years.
And the loop and the flip since the comeback. That's right, Kurt. Since the glory days. And again, jumps rarely feel perfect in the air, and it's how you save the landing and how you fight for it that really counts.
Yeah, anyone can
Well,
land the
we've
good
seen
ones,
you
right?
do it. We've seen you do it on
My
many
coach
occasions.
used to say, come on, anyone can land the good ones. It's only the good skaters can land the bad ones.
Crowd was with her, and there is Marianne Samson, the next skater, waiting. Final moments of her warm-up as Cynthia Phaneuf waits for her marks, but the crowd was with Cynthia Phaneuf, and she's been a very popular champion, and people are interested in her story.
That choice of music is sometimes a risk because it's so beautiful and serene. It can take you to a place, or it can just highlight your mistakes. And I think the fact that even though she was a little wobbly on some of her landings, it was the gutsy determination that shone through, not the mistake.
I agree, and where I thought that this program was so perfect for Cynthia is it showed her strengths, which the speed and the grace, and she's a beautiful performer. I just brought the audience right into it. It was a captivating performance by Cynthia.
Very close to her coaches there, Sophie Richard and Annie Barabé, the judges, verifying the marks for.
They're looking appropriately
Severe.
judge-like and severe.
They all seem to be looking away, saying it's not me they're verifying.
Actually, they're watching the monitor up there. They're showing Cynthia's program again.
And here we go. They're in now. The technical elements in the free skate, 53.26, 51.35 presentation, 1:04.61 for the free skate for Cynthia Phaneuf. And that looks like it is a personal best for her. Their grand total 158.1, and Cynthia Phaneuf now vaults into first place here at the National Championships. That will put a smile on her face. Phaneuf, Leslie Hawker is second right now.
Strong contingent of skaters from Quebec in this competition. Speaking of which.
Yes, 19-year-old Marianne Samson, who trains in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu with Maryse Gauthier and Manon Perron. There are only 3 skaters left in the competition now. 2 skaters will be going to the World Championships in Gothenburg, Sweden in March.
Marianne has all kinds of talent. We saw that in the short program where she did a clean short. Yeah, speed, good jumps, great personality. What she has to do is deal with the mental side of her game. Opening with a series of double axels. Free program is her weakness. And her most difficult jump coming up here is her triple Lutz.
Hate it when you leave it on the warm-up. You know what they call that? They call that jumping before you left the ground. Ahead of yourself.
Triple turn to a double.
Marianne is the 2004 National Junior Champion. She's also competing for a spot at the Junior World Championships upcoming.
Nice series there. Opening with a strong triple Salchow double loop, falling off the second double loop. And now right into a triple loop. Double.
She seems to have abandoned the choreography a little bit too. Like you can tell that it looks more like a practice session in the last 30 seconds. And that's training, that's mileage.
Well, as we've said, to help with this, with her focus in the free program, she went with her coach, Maurice Gauthier, to work with Manon and Joannie, try and find the final piece of the puzzle to putting her competition performances together. There, triple Lutz, a little sloppy on the double loop.
It's the mental ability to stay with it till it's done. So we're seeing a lot of young skaters with a lot of potential, and we're also seeing the last flight, you know, wreak havoc on their abilities to stay with it too.
Her final triple planned, a triple Salchow. Let's see if now she can get into the performance, Kurt. Because when you lose a performance, as she has done, you also lose the second mark. And of course, with performances like Leslie Hawker and Cynthia Phaneuf, it's dangerous.
You have to remember that Leslie is watching this competition somewhere back there with keen interest.
Marianne Samson was 5th at the national championships last year.
She doesn't want to give that up. The skaters are fighting for more than just a world championship. I mean, a trip to the world. They're fighting for funding, for international events.
Junior Worlds is on the line.
Junior World Championships, correct.
She believes she's got the talent. She says she needs to be organized in order to get the job done. Marianne Samson of Quebec. Hometown hopes ride with Vancouver's Mira Leung. She takes the ice next at Pacific Coliseum. We're back at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver for the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships. Scott Russell along with Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning, and Marianne Samson is waiting for her marks.
This is a clinic on double axel, and you're in the building. You couldn't even hear her land, using the momentum straight through. Nice torso, great check on the right shoulder. What a great start to a program.
But then into the triple Lutz. And as you said, her upper body just started jumping before her skates left the ice. If you don't rotate as a unit, you have no chance. You have to remember to go down, relax, press before you go up. So the same jump later in the program, but then losing the focus on the landing of that second jump.
Yeah. And we've been watching it all week. The skaters get excited and they tweak the timing of their takeoff. And they usually, 99 times out of 100, they go too quick.
So what can Marianne take from this performance? Well, she did fight, and she didn't let the whole program fall apart.
Last triple sow was great.
That's right, and she did have the second triple Lutz in there, so she can take that away. And I agree with you, Kurt, this is all about training. If you're doing single run-throughs, start doing double run-throughs. You just have to beat it into yourself that you can do this. You do that in practice enough, you have the confidence to do it in competition.
Only 19 years of age. There are her marks. The free skate 88.3 for Marianne Samson, who's trying to get to the Junior World Championships as well, as we've been talking about. She's got a lot at stake here at the National Championships. Her grand total of 143.18 will leave her in third spot behind Cynthia Phaneuf and Leslie Hawker.
But with 2 skaters to go.
And those 2 skaters, of course, have both been to the World Championships, beginning with Mira Leung, the 18-year-old from Vancouver, who skates before the home crowd. There, a look at the standings right now. Phaneuf and Hawker, and a nice reception here for Mira Leung.
And continuing in the classical vein that we saw in Mira's short program, she will skate to music by Rachmaninoff, Piano Concertos number 2 and 3.
Very unusual. She's starting her program with 3 individual jumps, saving the combinations and series for later on in her program, proving she plans to be physically fit. Nope, I lied.
And that's Mira. If she feels good, she'll start adding in the program. So that was a triple Lutzen combination to open, moving down now into a triple flip.
CBC Sports, of course, will have coverage of the World Championships from Gothenburg, Sweden in March. We followed Mira at the last World Championships in Tokyo, where she wound up 24th, but she was fighting tendonitis at those World Championships, and it was a real struggle.
Well, the way she's skating here, you'll be following her in Sweden. And she won't be struggling there. Jumps look very light and effortless today. Criticism about Mira's skating has been with her artistry, and I'm very impressed by her graceful arms, soft knees, and she is really expressing this music beautifully. Of the program, and the jumps get an additional 10% because they're later in the program. Her first mistake there, that should have been a double axel, and often Mira will put all of her combinations at the end because that's where she does pick up that extra 10%. Another glitch there. Fighting back with the triple Lutz.
You're right, Tracy. She is moving way better than I have seen her in the past. Just soft, fluid motions, changing direction, soft back, as Dick Button would say, and really very refreshing. Slow. This whole program has been slow, but that's Mira. She goes slow into her jumps. She's very, safe that way, and that's one of the reasons why she's consistent. It works for her, but it doesn't enhance the program.
She had it. She was on par.
First 3 elements, she had it.
For an amazing skate, and her expression was there, and something happened partway through the program where she started to hold back in terms of her jumps and her performance. She didn't let go like I think we were all expecting her to do.
Well, we've been talking about Mira Leung focusing on the World Championship appearance, but she must have been contending for a Canadian title close to Joannie Rochette coming into the free skate. And of course, the big carrot is a home Olympics in 2010 here in her hometown. Mira Leung. A lot to think about at the Pacific Coliseum. Joannie Rochette tends to shine in the free skate. She'll chase a 4th national championship next in Vancouver. Mira Leung waiting for her marks now here at Pacific Coliseum after the free skate.
Has she put her trip to the World Championships in jeopardy? We'll have to wait and see. Here's the triple Lutz, and she snuck in a loop after it on me. There it is.
What a great start to her program.
Fantastic. The first 3 elements were bang, bang, bang. Here's the flip, which I believe was the 2nd element. And she has an unusual style. Watch her head. Her head rolls back, and then she gets it back over top of her shoulders. Very unusual.
I have never seen Mira come undone and unfocused in a competition. And it was almost like at the first half, she was skating to win. And then she goes into this double axel here. And watch, oh, it didn't feel right.
The shoulders went up.
And I think she started to come undone because her next triple, she popped. It was supposed to be a triple flip. And opened up in the air, losing valuable points. And then you could see her performance started to recede. She started to think. Second
That's
guess.
the word.
And
Heaven forbid you think out there.
that's right.
It should be natural, right? Here we go.
The technical score is 53.19.
Technical components 53.19. Presentation 50.67. 103.86 for Mira Leung. 162.10. That's first place and gets her beyond Cynthia Phaneuf.
But she was 3rd in the free skate. So Leslie Hawker and Cynthia Phaneuf outscoring her in the free skate.
Thank you.
And with that, basically Cynthia said goodbye to Worlds. Probably.
Joannie Rochette at the boards with her coaches, getting ready to go, the 3-time Canadian champion. And now makes her way to center ice, and let's send it right now.
Okay.
Excuse me, Kurt, to Brenda Irving.
Here's her coach, Manon Perron. And Manon, what's the key for Joannie in this program now?
To stay focused and try to do no mistake.
Thanks for this.
Skate clean, thanks.
I love Manon Perron and how she has handled Joannie Rochette.
Long relationship that's had ups and downs.
And when she was a youngster and learning her triple jumps, Manon was not happy with her triple Lutz. So for a year, she reworked it. That's paying off in dividends. She wasn't happy with her attitude, so she sent her to another coach for a year. Joannie will skate to Don Juan, choreographed by David Wilson. Look at the speed she's carrying into her first triple jump. It's a triple Lutz in combination.
She's strong. She just puts on a clinic with that triple loop. Whenever I'm practicing, whether I know she's going to loop, I stop everything to watch. And recovering from that small step out on the triple flip.
She was 5th at the Olympics in 2006. And at the last World Championships, we saw her fight very hard to get to 10th spot after a nice free skate. And do the important thing, which was retain a second spot for Canada at the next World Championships.
Showing upper body movement as well as control on the toe pick. The new system asking for all those things. Toe moves, steps, turns. She got tight, the shoulders got up, the feet were really tight together. She kind of struggled with a lean as well. It's too bad.
A little bit off there on the spin. Not so costly here internationally. Huge mistake.
You're right.
Do something like that, you drop 4 places.
But that's exactly what Joanie's trying to do. She's trying to get onto that top tier at the international stage. She knows she's good enough. She's got the power. She's got all the elements that she needs. And it's the execution at the last moment that she really needs. And isn't that the story of the week, though?
For the ladies.
For the ladies.
Final series of triples coming up here, opening with a triple toe. And into a triple Salchow. Well done.
Wow, good fight.
Double axel. Second double axel turned to a single. She has really fought to hang on to this program. Moments of power and brilliance and moments of tightness and doubt.
You can never question the determination of Joannie Rochette. There were flaws, but she got beyond them.
She's got the audience on their feet.
And what gets a skater beyond those moments is mileage and the training. A superbly fit and well-trained athlete.
Her margin over Mira Leung coming into the free skate was a single point.
Here's her triplets at the beginning that they worked so hard to execute perfectly in training, and now she's bringing out into the competition rink and getting big marks for that triplets in combination.
That's right, Trace. You said tight, right? Watch the shoulders go up high. See that right shoulder in it? You can tell if something is going to bother you, your instinct is to bring your shoulders up to protect yourself, and it happens to skaters in the air as well. Triple Salchow from no speed. She has, I'll put money on it, the best triple Salchow on the planet. And that's why she put it after that jump, because she knows she can do it off of any speed in any situation. Amazing. But we need it all. If we're going to go to Worlds and wrap a medal around her neck, she needs it all together at the same moment.
3 times a national championship skater here in Canada, and she has only just turned 22 years of age. And as you allude to, Kurt, she wants to get to the next step internationally. Mira Leung is waiting backstage. She currently has the lead after the free skate. Second is Cynthia Phaneuf, the former Canadian champion.
Those are the Terry Jones and Cam Cole and Bev Smith, all the same people that talked to me when I used to be standing there waiting to figure out my future. Reporters staying true to the sport for a long time. Thanks, guys.
And speaking to them, Kurt, they were all very excited about the emergence of Patrick Chan here at the National Championships and the future of Canadian skating in general.
Well, it's nice if Patrick can give a rivalry to Jeffrey. A rivalry inside the country drives both athletes higher, and it's just fun for everyone involved. Fans watching, everyone.
And Joannie waiting alongside her coaches, and you can see some disappointment on her face.
1:16.44 for the free skate, and that is enough. She's got it well in hand. This will be a 4th national championship for Joannie Rochette of Île-du-Pas, Quebec.
4-time Canadian champion. I don't think the Canadian title was in jeopardy here, but for her, I think it's what we've talked about all week. We want so much more. She wants so much more from herself internationally.
And she's capable of it.
So go do it, girl. We believe in you.
So along with Mira Leung, Joannie Rochette will be bound for Göteborg, Sweden in March. CBC will have coverage of those World Championships. And now full of hope, Joannie Rochette. There's Brenda Irving.
Well, Joannie, another Canadian championship. How does the 4th one feel?
It feels really great, especially being so tight with the rest of the field after the short. I knew I had to skate a good program. My goal was to do a clean program. It didn't happen tonight, but because I was really trained, I was able to do a good program despite the mistake I made.
Well, what do you think it's going to take for you to take that next step on the world stage and be on the podium in Sweden?
Of course, I'm going to need that triple in the short program. And this long program, I know I can skate it better. This was a long week this week, and you know, it was a tough test to pass nationals. And now we can concentrate on the rest of the season.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Joannie Rochette, 4-time Canadian champion. Scott?
Thank you, Brenda. Yes, Joannie Rochette joins Cynthia Phaneuf and Mira Leung on the podium. We'll return to Vancouver in just a moment. Welcome back to Vancouver and our coverage of the BMO National Figure Skating Championships. 22-year-old Joannie Rochette of Île-du-Pas, Quebec, has secured her 4th national championship here at Pacific Coliseum. A look at the final results. Joannie Rochette wins the gold medal here. Mira Leung of Vancouver is second. She'll be going to the World Championships in Sweden. But it was an inspiring performance by Cynthia Phaneuf, a former national champion. She captured a moment here at Pacific Coliseum and went a long way to serving notice that she may be back on the Canadian figure skating scene. Leslie Hawker was 4th, and there are the rest of the results in the ladies free skate here in Vancouver. All right, with Tracy Wilson and Kurt Browning. And first of all, let's react to Joannie Rochette and rising to the occasion yet again.
Well, she did rise to the occasion here to win her 4th title, but a fairly disappointing performance for Joannie because she wanted to be perfect, and she knows that perfect is what it's going to take for her to get to the podium. We know she's capable. It's such a small thing, yet such a big thing.
But I think she's building. For where I saw her last April, and we spent a couple days together, she's building, so keep going. That's my opinion.
Can we talk about Mira Leung? People have referred to her as combative. She's remaking herself. What do you think in terms of how she might fare at the World Championships upcoming?
Well, if she can skate with consistency, which we know she can, she's got to actually skate there like she can skate at home and take the big high jumps. International panels, very, very tough on under-rotated jumps and technical perfection. So she's just got to raise her game and I think skate with a little more freedom throughout her performance.
More speed too. Mira, take it harder to the jumps, because what you see is a complacency a little bit, and with that slower music, the intensity is missing.
Let's put a little bit of a wrap on these Canadian championships and talk about Patrick Chan, because he has been so wonderful.
Stolen the show?
Yeah, has he stolen the show? But he's created something here, hasn't he?
Maybe it's the future. I mean, certainly all year we've been talking about Patrick, amazing results internationally, but he's a friend of mine, but I didn't expect him to come in here and dominate like he did. The control and the capacity mentally, wow, really good. So keep the momentum going.
And the youngest Canadian champion ever skated like beyond his years with a maturity that 17 years of age, you're kidding me.
Here are the Canadian team members that will be going to Gothenburg, Sweden. CBC will have the World Championships in the pairs. Annabelle Langlois and Cody Hay won the championship here. Ice dance, Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer, and there are the rest. And in the women's, Joannie Rochette. Of course, it will be Jeffrey Buttle and Patrick Chen. Now, a landmark combination was landed here at the Canadian Championships by Kevin Reynolds.
Another 17-year-old, this one from Port Coquitlam, so you can imagine the fans loved it. He landed a quad, triple, triple. Only one skater has ever landed the jump.
The Olympic champion.
And that was Evgeny Plushenko back in 2003.
He stepped off the ice and like immediately I was there shaking his hand going, welcome to the fraternity, you know, like the ability to do something for the very first time, the first Canadian to ever do this. And I think it was just like, well, what are you talking about? He's so young.
He didn't know that
no
it
clue.
hadn't been done.
No clue.
Quick comment from you both. Successful national championships?
I think it has been successful, particularly because of the depth. Strong champions at the top of the podium, but a lot of skaters behind pushing, and that will only make the ones at the top better.
I think
5 seconds.
Scott and Tessa are absolute leaders. I think Patrick and Jeffrey are going to make an energy between them that's going to be fun to watch and build them both up.
All right, Kurt Browning and Tracy Wilson, don't forget, CBC Sports will have the World Championships from Gothenburg, Sweden, coming up in March. Full network coverage. Joannie Rochette, the Canadian champion, yet again, will return to Vancouver in a moment. Back at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, and Joannie Rochette faces the press. Nothing new for her, the 4-time national champion, 22 years old from Ile-du-Pas, Quebec, on her way to the World Figure Skating Championships in Gothenburg, Sweden. Next Saturday on CBC Sports Weekend, we'll begin at 1 p.m. ET, the Pontiac Alpine Ski Series, the women's GS from Ofterschwang. We also have the men's downhill from Chamonix and the Capital One Masters of Grand Slam Curling from Saskatoon. Next Sunday at 1 p.m. ET, the gala from the BMO Canadian Figure Skating Championships. A last look at all the champions, including Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer in the ice dance. A great championships for all of us. Thanks for watching, and so long from Supernatural, Vancouver, British Columbia.